Alright, this is 3 bags of laundry that has been put together like these are. Socks. Each one has socks, underwear, shirts, t-shirt, undershirt, and there's eight groups, actually 9, considering that I have one set aside for today's wear. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 3 are already bagged up. I went and did my laundry yesterday, and I got to show this because I'm a target, victim, and activist concerning the crimes of what is known as organized stalking. Okay, this is showing you today's date to prove that I had this property with me on today's date. And as a result of being a target of organized stalking, I experienced threats here. I'm hiking in California. I'm saving for a mobile home. And being a target of organized stalking and gang stalking, I experience overt threats, okay, from the person who's managing the organized harassment of organized stalking, which is also termed as gang stalking. And what they do, I'm in my own business everywhere I go, okay, and my behavior is appropriate for each and every environment that I go to and for the whole duration why I'm there. And I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. Okay, now what they do in part is get on that sidewalk, okay, and they'll say gang stalking as they ride their bike by. And then once they say that, they'll say, why don't you come and steal our stuff? And that's done to anchor the threat to gang stalking by mentioning the word gang stalking and then saying the threat. And they're doing the same thing now, at UCSD, except at UCSD they're saying, why don't you go steal our stuff, as they walk by me. Now they did it twice already, and both times was when I was changing my batteries from this tape recorder, so it wasn't caught on tape. Yes. As a result of being a target, victim, and activist concerning the crimes of organized stalking, I developed my own strategies to catch this harassment being utilized around me everywhere I go. Okay? And the harassment that I have concerning what's being done, what has been brought about around me, concerning me, about me, along all of my routes for the last year and a half, as the manager of these expeditions, having individuals get around me and constantly repeat the word gang stalker, gang stalking, or gang stalk, and oh my god. And I have over 600 audio files, a huge portion of them literally showing it being said around me constantly at separate places I go to throughout one entire day, each day for the last year and a half. Businesses, public libraries, university campuses, all businesses I go to. And they're still doing it at this hiking area as well. Getting up on the sidewalk, riding their bikes by and saying gang stalker, or gang stalk, or gang stalking. Yeah, and then periodically they'll say, why don't you come and steal our stuff? That's done to anchor fear in my mind that my property will be stolen when I leave for the day. So I developed strategies in order to be able to hide it creatively. And we're going to see, because stealing property of a target is one way to try and make a target appear down and out as a result of them not having clean clothes because they're stolen by them. As a result, they got to spend money to replace everything, which drains them financially. And if the target decides not to spend any money, if they even have any money, they decide to wear maybe clothes that that might appear a little bit raggedy. And that's part of the reason why they do what they do. Not just to get the target to go through money to replace what's been stolen, but to also make the target appear like they're down and out. Okay, because a lot of the slander that is brought about around concerning a target, that is being told to community members that they're getting to harass a target, is that a target is a social deviant. Now think about this. You can go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." That's a good video for you to watch. That's a preliminary introduction in reference to how easy it is for anybody that appears to have a position of authority, like a badge, whether it be a real badge or a fake badge, who is soliciting innocent community members to do something towards an innocent woman that's in a grocery store, based on a lie and the prestige of the badge. Yes, and this is in part how they operate. Now, if a person who has either got a fake badge or a real badge is soliciting assistance from community members to get them to harass a target for them based on a badge and a lie, it would be more believable for this lie to be believed if the target looks down and out. because a lot of times they will paint the target as being a social deviant of some kind. Yeah, like a drug dealer, a drug user, a prostitute, a criminal of some sort. Yes, and so if they see the target looking all down and out, okay, while they're being told a lie, the lie and the person looking down and out, as a result of the person looking down and out, the lie is more believable, because the person who's being told the lie will think to themselves, well, why isn't this person cleaned up? Okay, exactly. Do you see how this works? I have read many targets blogs where individuals have stolen their property and they got online and literally, and I swear this, they literally get online and will state, my property was just stolen by these jerks. They're trying to make me look down and out. Yep. And they're using homeless people to harass me along my routes like you would not believe. So I take a video picture showing you, in fact, all these clothes are clean. All of them, well, of course they're clean. I just went and washed them yesterday, but all these clothes are brand spanking new. They've all been bought within the last 6 months, okay? And so I got to take a picture of my property just to prove that it's here, and it's being hidden by my hiking area in extremely creative ways, okay? So I have a feeling what they're going to eventually do next is have somebody walk by me when I'm getting this property out or hiding it. That way they can anchor fear in my mind that I know now that they know where it's hidden at. Yeah, because they want to keep you mentally preoccupied. See, they anchor the threat and the fear, and then in order to keep you mentally preoccupied, like when I leave for the day, they want me to be mentally preoccupied. Is my stuff going to be gone when I get back? Because this is how they work. Organized stalking and gang stalking wants you to be constantly preoccupied with their harassment and with the fear that they anchor, all depending on what kind of fear it is. Case in point, I had one get around me about 2.5 weeks ago after I'd left Ralph's, where I'm gang stalked on a feverish scale. And hang on, I'm feeding my squirrel. And after I left Ralph's, I went to a bus stop, and I'm gang stalked at this Ralph's every single time I go there by employees, management, and people coming in acting as patrons. I left there, unlocked my bike, and went and took it to the bus stop that I always go to when I leave Ralph's. Okay, like at least 70% of the time. They had an individual already sitting at the bus stop. I pull up with my bike, arrest my bike against the bus bench, and he says, "Do you got a flat tire in the back?" I go, "No." "Why? Am I supposed to have one?" Because they already did this to me before. Yes. And so I go, "Why? Am I supposed to have one?" And then he started gaslighting me. In fact, he was gaslighting me honestly when he was saying this. That's why I said, "Why? Am I supposed to have one?" And then within 3 to 4 days, on my next visit to Ralph's, I went and locked up my bike, went into Ralph's, came out, and the back tire was flattened. Because they anchor fear before they do something in order to be able to associate what's happened to you or your property to the campaign of gang stalking. That's why when he said that, "Is your back tire flat?" he was gaslighting me with physical gestures. Yes, physical gestures and direct conversation methods are sensitization tactics, where they form associations in a target's mind that the threat is associated to gang stalking. Yes, this is how they operate, and you can Google and extensively research sensitization and physical gestures. They're usually called hand and arm gestures, or direct conversation methods. And this is done where they, and the fear mongering in reference to the language they use is called DNLP, dark neural linguistic programming, where they're programming you neurally through language that something bad, dark, is going to happen to you or your property. So what I do in response to it is I